Okay kids, welcome back to the shop. Today I'm going to build a computer shelf for my desk at work. Obviously it's going to hold my computer. I have this old piece of aluminum. I'm going to cut it out to the shape I need. But the unique thing here is I'm going to use railroad spikes to support the desk or the shelf. Now the challenging part is I want the spikes to appear like they've been driven through the aluminum. So I got to figure out how I'm going to do that. The bottom of the spike is going to have to support the shelf, and then the head of the spike is going to have to sit on top and appear like it's still part of the spike. Stay tuned, watch how I do it. Let's start with the easy part. I take the piece of metal to the bandsaw and cut it out. No biggie here.
Free bandsaw. You can't beat it. I keep saying it. Go check out the videos. Free. And guess what, guys? Can you see that? I'm still using the 3D printed nut. The new one's here. Why change it?
I head off to the welding room to clean up the edges, and I try to put some kind of swirl finish on this thing. I'm using a flap wheel. This doesn't look bad. Now remember, my desk is in a construction trailer, and my desk is actually a countertop. Okay, here's the plan, man. This is a test piece. I cut it on a bandsaw. And what I'm going to do with the lower end is I'm going to drill and tap it, and I'm going to put a stud in it. Then what I'm going to do is in the table, I'm going to put in a riv nut, and I'll show you what that is. The stud will go up through the riv nut. Then the top portion of the spike, I'm going to drill it and I'm going to countersink it so it goes over top of the riv nut. Stay tuned, I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay, this is going to work. Now I'm going to drill and countersink the top of the spike. Alright, the moment of truth. This thing fits good. I like it. Okay, 6 more to go. I start by drilling the bottom. I tap the bottom part to accept the stud. This is a 1024. You see how short I cut the head here, and that's what I wanted. The legs will lift the desk up higher than on the prototype. Okay, let's get this part drilled and countersunk to accept the riv nut.
I think I showed you guys this trick before, is run a die on before you cut the threads. I cut them off on the bandsaw, took it over to the sander, just touched it up. And then when you remove the die, it cleans the threads up at the end. Okay guys, I'm going to explain how this riv nut works. Hopefully you can see this. You see here it has the little serrations on it, and then it's threaded, okay? And what this is for is you use it for thin metal where you can't use a tap and tap the thin metal. So what happens, so you drill the hole. So in this case, this is a 1024. I drilled a 9/32 hole, and then it slips in like that, and then you use the tool and you squeeze it. Now you have to have the correct die. Right here, this is the die. You have to have the correct die for your insert, and the dies come in the kit. So what you do is you screw it on, make sure it's open all the way. Now I'm not going to drive this home because I don't want to ruin it. And what you do is you just put it in the hole like this, and then you squeeze it. And like I said, I'm not going to do it. You just squeeze it until you can't squeeze it anymore. Don't force it. It's not going to close all the way. And the thing is, if you force it, you could actually strip out the riv nut. Okay, and I've already done that because I have forced it. Because what it's going to do is it's just going to expand. Can you see here? It just expands it slightly. Okay, just so these serrations can grip into the metal. So that's how it works. It's pretty neat.
I drill the holes and install the riv nuts off camera. I actually forgot to turn the camera on, sorry. So now let's put these spikes or legs into the riv nuts. This thing's looking pretty good, and it's sturdy, just like I hoped. I got the legs facing the direction I needed. I just put a wrench on the flats, and I turned it until I got it to the direction I wanted. All right, let's put the heads in place. Let's see how they fit and look. Okay, I have to tell you, I did number these things. I stamped them. So when I cut them, I knew that the head went with the bottom of the spike. That way it would line up correctly. And the other thing is, when I countersunk these, it is a little bit of a force fit. So they stay in place and they don't wobble around. After messing around with these things a little bit, they were a little loose. So I decided to super glue in the ones I don't need to remove. So you see the ones at the top closest to the screen here. Those two will have to be removed so I can get my computer put into place.
Alright guys, there we go. I like it. I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks cool. You know, I think it's gonna spin some people around. You know, how'd you get it in there? How you get it out or whatever. So the legs are pointing the proper direction, lining up with the head of the spike. So that helps, you know, keep the illusion going. Alright guys, off to work. I'll show you the final product.
So you see here, I don't have much room. That's my monitor, and then obviously the laptop has to go right there, my keyboard, I got my notebooks. It's a cramped environment here. So I need to get that laptop up, that screen up, and this thing's gonna work out perfect. I've been using this now for a couple weeks, and it's working out perfect. I got a ton of room underneath here. I can type, I can get my hands in there. I can store my stuff underneath there, my iPad. And then the other thing is it's sturdy, and I just love how the spikes look like they're holding everything in place. These pop right off. I can close the lid. You'll see right here, a little bit of one-handed action. And then watch this. They go back in place. They go back in place. And bam, it's locked. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.